Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Zamboni Talk. Before we get started here today, I just want to thank you all so much for joining me. And if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. And any thoughts at all down below, I'd love for you to comment them down in the comment section there. So, what are we going to be talking about here today? Today, we're going to be talking about a subject that is personally applying to myself right now because I'm not exactly sure what it is. You can't really pinpoint exactly what things are sometimes in life, but it's been a grind to do things lately. No matter what that is, whether that's going to the gym, getting other things done, it's been a grind. And I have a very jam-packed schedule. I'm involved in a lot of different endeavors. I have a lot on my plate on a daily basis. But sometimes I wake up and I just really do not want to do them. And that's been lately. And sometimes I think that there's something wrong with me because I feel like that. But sometimes that's just natural, right? Sometimes our body fights us. It doesn't want us to do what we want to do. And I believe that is truly what separates us from the rest of the population. Because when I wake up and feeling like not doing anything, not feeling very good, everything's a grind. I've been going to the gym the last couple days, just things haven't been clicking. I haven't been hitting my top weights. Everything along those lines have just been going on. And I stop and think, is there something wrong with me? What's going on? Is this something that needs to be addressed? But really, what it comes down to is that sometimes in life, you're just not going to feel the greatest. You're not going to feel the most motivated. You're not going to just wake up and your feet hit the ground and you're going to be ready to get after it. Sometimes it's not going to happen. But what makes us great is the ability to go against that and to what this topic of this video is all about, just to show up, right? Because I've always heard great advice that if you don't feel like doing something, but it's something you need to do, just go and show up and see where that takes you, right? And this is actually something that I've been thinking about because actually it's something that I've seen at church recently as well. And this is a thing I don't really bring up much, but I often go to church on a weekly basis, just once a week for the discipline of going and the structure I like. And it's something different than I do in my regular life on a weekly basis. So, there was a priest in training that was up at the altar, and for those of you that don't know, a priest requires a tremendous amount of education. For this individual, it was an 8-year process, right? So, he got up and he was in year 5, I believe, of 8, and he started talking. And a really well-spoken young man. But he began to think because there was a couple of questions that went around and say, you look at this 8-year journey that's so daunting, and how do you do it, right? And he said something that really stuck with me because this can be applied to all aspects of life. He said, I didn't look at it as an 8-year process. I was called to do this, and what I was called to is to give 1 year of my life. That's what he said, to give 1 year. Show up for that 1 year and see where it takes you. And here he is now on year 5, thriving at what he's doing. So I thought that was really cool. And that was really something that impacted me because he had that daunting task of looking down the the barrel of 8 years, so to speak, right? And I guarantee he did not feel like getting up and going to his philosophy and theology classes for 8 years straight, right? But he just showed up. And I think that's something that we can all learn from. Because in the gym as well, if you don't feel like being there that day, but you know that's what's necessary to thrive and to get ahead in your life, then you just show up. Right? Your plan is to just, and I've never gone to go challenge myself physically or mentally or intellectually and then regretted it after. Sometimes it's not been the greatest workout or not been the greatest learning session or business meeting or whatever else I'm getting involved in, but I'm always thankful that I went, right? Because I know that even though it's not the greatest, if I'm doing something that somebody else is not doing, then I am getting ahead in that aspect, and I am getting one step closer to my goal of achieving what I want to achieve. So that's what I wanted to bring up today, because in a lot of external metrics in this world, I have achieved success in a lot of things. I'm nowhere close to where I want to be, of course, and I'm still striving every day to learn and get better in all aspects. But even at the level that I'm at, I have days and weeks that things do not feel good. And it's not even for a particular reason. It's just sometimes the body fights you on what you want to do. And maybe that's just a test to weed out who's weak. Right? I truly believe that. That maybe that is just a test for the universe or a higher being or whatever else you believe in, that they're not going to make things easy on you, right? They are not going to make things easy on you. Because if something is easy and attainable, right, it's not going to be something that's highly regarded. Because aside from that priest story that I had from church, I ran into another friend that I haven't seen for a while after the Sunday service. Right? And we got to talking, and a lot of people talk to me about travel awards, credit card points, because that's a hobby that I'm into, and I've helped lots of people achieve their dream trips, right? But so this individual, my friend, she contacted me about what credit card to get, as she was looking for a new card, and she loves traveling. Obviously, first class, business class, the lounges, the whole bit, just like everybody else. I mean, who doesn't like any of that stuff, right? But I recommended her a card. She got it. She's been using it. All great. So we got to talking after we got out of church, and I began to ask her, "How's it going with the card? Are you getting what you want out of it?" And all I hear is that it's so hard to get those first class flights. It takes a lot of points to be able to do this. So I sat there and I thought, did you really think that getting a $8,000 flight per way, or getting close to $20,000 on a round trip, do you think that that's going to be easy? Something that's super attainable for everybody to do? Do the airlines just want to give away stuff like that? Right? If that was the case, everybody would be flying everywhere first class. They're getting wined and dined, and everyone would be able to do it. The airlines would lose a substantial amount of money, right? It would be crazy. They wouldn't be able to operate. So why do you want something to be easy? Because if something is easy, guess what? The scarcity of it and the availability of it is going away. You're not going to get that anymore, right? So that was another thing that got brought up to me this weekend. And I just wanted to bring this up because I've felt that I've been definitely struggling lately, doing a lot of things, but I haven't missed anything. I've gotten everything done I want to get, and that is what's really important. Because I've had a couple not great workouts. Some of my learning and networking has suffered in the past week, but this feels a lot better to get on here and discuss what I have going on and to let people know, even if I just reach one person as always, to let people know that you are not alone in feeling like this. And it's not the feeling of not being at your best that makes you weak or makes you a failure. It's succumbing to those feelings that really dictate who's in the game, who's here to stay, who's going to thrive, and who's not. So, I just want to thank you all so much for joining me here today. I really appreciate each and every one of you that has watched any one of my videos. And I'm up to 50 videos now, so any videos you want to watch in the past that offer you any sort of inspiration or insight, I encourage you to do so. Until the next one, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next episode of the Daily Zamboni Talk.